Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So sorry the lighting and background and things like that are different. I just kind of felt like shaking things up, and plus I don't know, going back there and filming is it's a mess back there. I'm working on some art projects back there and it's just a hot mess, and here it's a little less messy. Still messy, just less messy. But anyway, sorry, my dog is all over the place. Come here! Come here! So today's video is a puppy update. So this is Yuna. She is a miniature Australian Shepherd. I will put a link or a little iCard in one of these corners of my first video that I did with her when she was just a little baby. And back then, she was a lot smaller, surprisingly calmer, and she was not spayed then. So I guess those are her differences. So right now at 7 months old, she weighs about 22 pounds. She did recently get spayed about a month or so ago. She's going to antagonize our cat back there. But she has been spayed. Her fur on her belly is starting to grow back. Will you show the people the fur on your belly, or are you just going to try to bite me? No? Hold on. See the fur? So as you can tell, she was shaved quite a lot because she has a lot of fur on her tummy, and so when she got spayed, some of that fur went away, but it's growing back. She also got her rear dew claws clipped. Just pull my shirt down. When we got her hind dew claws were still intact, but when we took her to get spayed, we just asked for those dew claws to be removed, and that was that. She is also microchipped, so that's great. She's playing with mini toys down there. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything to tell you guys, I guess to update you guys on. So if you are ever interested in getting a miniature Australian Shepherd, just know that they are a lot. They're a lot to deal with. Ever since she was a puppy, ever since we got her, she has just been high energy. I just think when she was a puppy, it was a lot easier to deal with because she was small and tiny, and now she is not so small and tiny, and she's just quite a handful. She has a lot of energy. She is a shepherd. They do require a lot of exercise and things like that, and while we do live in an apartment, she does do well here. She does well in the apartment. When she wants to run and be playful and be excited, it doesn't take long to wear her out. A trip to the dog park, we don't really have to be there but 30 minutes and she's already, laying down panting and she's ready to go home. But I like to hang out there because the dog park's a little bit of a way, so I like to be there at least for an hour before we start heading back. But she loves the dog park. She loves other dogs. She loves to run. She loves to be chased. She just really is a very social dog when it comes to other dogs. When it comes to people, not so much. She's very cautious of people. She's very, I guess, very aware that people are there, and she doesn't want anything to do with it. It's really interesting because if she wants to approach someone, she will approach them, but the moment that they see her or show interest in her or go to pet her, she's like, don't touch me, and she kind of backs away and runs away. She's a big baby. Here's Martin, by the way. Here's a little kitty crashing my puppy video. He's 12 years old. I'll do a whole video on all of my pets and you'll get to meet him. But we're talking about Yuna. So Yuna is very social when it comes to dogs, not so much when it comes to people. We've tried to interact her with other people, but since she was a puppy, she's always kind of been like that. She's very friendly, but she's still cautious, And I think the same thing kind of went for Lucy when we had Lucy. When people come up to her, she kind of shies away, but the moment they turn their back and start to walk away, she wants to go up and smell them and play with them. But it's just when they try to engage with her first, she's just kind of like, I'm not ready for that yet. But other dogs, other animals, she has absolutely no... Martin's tail is hitting me in the face. Other dogs, other animals, she has no issue with. We've tried to socialize her. We tried, even when she was a puppy, we would take her to PetSmart very often, have her socialize with people there, take her to the dog park when she was old enough, have her socialize with dogs and people there. she just, I don't know, I think maybe, I don't know. I don't know why she's like that. Maybe she gets it from me because I kind of like that with people, but she is very protective of me and Micah. She's very, that's something that's also really interesting, is I don't know if maybe she's trying to defend us or she's just trying to defend herself, but whenever we're sitting at home, she ends up barking at stuff that we can't hear. She will like be laying by the door and all of a sudden she like jumps up and she starts barking, and like no one, at least we don't think anyone is there. It's probably someone outside like going upstairs to their own apartment or people outside talking or whatever, but she instantly gets alert and she starts barking, and we have to kind of like calm her down. And then I tried to take her to John and Debbie's when I went over there for Halloween because I knew that there were going to be a lot of trick-or-treaters, and I thought maybe she could get some nice people interaction there. She didn't like that. She barked at every single person that came at the door, so eventually I just had to put her outside. And it's not like she's a vicious dog. She really isn't. She's a big baby. But for some reason, when she's like behind the door, when she's in the car, when she's like protected, I guess, she feels tougher. Because if I were to let her off her leash and let her just like go at the little trick-or-treaters, she would run away. Like, she would just cower because she's a big baby. But for whatever reason, if she's on her leash, if she's like in my arms, if she's in the car and the windows are rolled up, or if the windows are rolled down, if she's behind a door, like, she just thinks that she's so ballsy. The second that that barrier drops, she's like, no, she's not having it. And that's kind of a shame too, because people are not willing to kind of come up to her. People don't want to come up to her and don't want to approach her because they think that maybe she's aggressive, but she's not. It's just that she, you know, just has to kind of get used to you. And once she's used to you and once she gets to know you, she loves you. John and Debbie know that very well. My grandmother knows that very well. Yuna recognizes John and Debbie. Yuna recognizes my grandmother. She loves them. Whenever they come over or whenever I bring them over there, she just runs up to them and she like wags her tail and piddles all over the place, and she's so excited to see them. But with strangers, it's just different for her. She's kind of not sure and she just has to get used to you, but the more often you're around her, the more she'll get used to you and the more comfortable she'll be. But she is just a big baby. People don't need to be afraid of her. She's just a little thing. I sent a picture of her to the breeder that we got her from, and I sent a picture to the breeder of Yuna, and the breeder said that she was so small, which was kind of surprising because I guess to us she's not really that small. I mean, she's 22 pounds. She's a good medium-sized dog, but she's not small by any means, but she's not a big dog. But she is a mini. She is a mini Aussie, so she's not supposed to be big. But I think the breeder, since the breeder breeds mini Aussies, she would know what is, I guess, normal or not normal. And so according to the breeder, she's small for her age. But I think part of that is because I think her father is actually a toy Aussie. I think her father was a large toy and her mother was a small mini, and so Yuna kind of got the short end of that stick. So she's a small mini, and she was Kitty's meowing back there. But she is a ball of fire. She gets the zoomies at least once a day. It depends on the day. It depends on how active we are throughout the day. It depends on if Mike is home or not, because he ends up playing with her a lot, because she's a little rough. She is rough for her size. She's very strong and she plays rough, and so I don't like all of that. I don't play rough like that. I mean, sometimes I'll play rough with her, but the minute that I like feel hurt or I like am like, ow, like I'm done. I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, so I don't play too rough with her, but Mike is a boy. He plays as rough as he wants to with her, and she enjoys it. She loves it, and he just tolerates more than I will with her. And he's much more patient with Yuna than I am. And I think a lot of that is, sorry, she keeps hitting my ring light with her collar, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry. But he is just so much more patient with her than I am. I think a lot of it is because I literally spend almost 24/7 with her, because the only time I'm not with her, I'm either at school or I'm like running an errand or something like that. But Micah gets a nice solid break from her because he goes off to work, and then when he comes home, she's in her crate asleep. So he doesn't really have to deal with her throughout the day. So you know, he has, I guess, more room to be more patient with her because he doesn't have to spend as much time with her. And when you spend every second of every day with her, it gets a little bit exhausting and it gets tiring. She's doing really well with potty training. She's in her box of toys right now, so she's gonna start squeaking in a minute, but she's or crunching away, but she's doing very good with potty training. She would be 100% potty trained if it weren't for us and our laziness. You know, when it comes to potty training a dog in an apartment, it's a little bit more difficult because we don't have the luxury of having a backyard. So we can't just open the door, let her out, and then let her back inside. We have to, you know, put our shoes on, and then if it's cold outside, put our coat on. If it's raining, get a rain jacket or get an umbrella, and then put her leash on and then go outside and take her outside to go potty, and then wait around while she walks around and finds a place to go and then goes, and then we bring her back inside. And, you know, it's just, and doing that like 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day gets tiring, and it gets, you know, to the point where when it's like the 5th time to take her outside and it's like 6 o'clock at night and it's dark outside and it's cold and it's rainy, you're just like, I don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it. And so sometimes you just put down a puppy pad and you just hope she goes on it, and you're lazy. And that's at least I'm lazy. Obviously, if we were more proactive with it, she would be just fine as far as potty training goes, but a lot of it is just laziness on our end. So she does really well as far as making it through the night. She doesn't pee in her crate at night. She can last a good 12 hours in her crate, which is odd because she'll last that long in her crate, but she won't last that long outside of her crate. Which is odd, I guess, because she knows that if she pees in her crate, she's just kind of stuck with it. And if she pees in the house, she can kind of like walk away from it, I guess. But she does really well in her crate, and that's why we kind of keep her in there at night, because I get more sleep that way, and then Yuna gets sleep that way, and I don't have to worry about waking up and smelling poop like in the bedroom, because she used to sleep in the bed with us, and she would often get up in the middle of the night, get off the bed, go to her puppy pad, do her business, and then come back and sleep with us in the bed. But, you know, I have a fan in the bedroom, not like a ceiling fan, but like a stand fan, because I like to have a fan on when I sleep. Even if it's cold outside, I like to have something cool on me because I get very hot very easily. So I like having that fan, and I also like the white noise that it produces. But when you're trying to sleep and you wake up and Yuna's, you know, pooping in the corner, then that fan is going to carry that smell right into your face, and it's not a good time for anyone. So she does really well in her crate. She's been sleeping in her crate for a while now. She's very good now about not like screaming and whining and howling whenever we leave, because she used to have a really major issue. She used to have bad separation anxiety, and whenever we would put her in her crate, if me and Micah were ever going anywhere and we left the house, as soon as we were out of her sight, we could hear her through the door barking, whining, howling, all of that stuff, and she would eventually stop, but it's just stressing for her, you know, and I don't want to bother our neighbors and all that stuff. But she has gotten better with that. As far as like training and things like that goes, she's pretty good with learning new tricks and things like that. You know, what is it called? Conditioning or whatever. She's really good at responding the way we want her to respond. And so she knows a decent amount of tricks. She knows how to sit. She knows how to lay down. She knows how to shake. She knows how to shake with both paws. So I'll tell her to sit and I'll tell her to shake, and then I'll tell her other paw, and she knows how to do that. We are working on getting her to pick up her toys and put them in her basket, and we're working on cleaning up. So she's doing okay with that. She's making good progress though. She knows how to spin. We're getting her to learn how to jump, like jump up on command, and so hopefully maybe that'll help her not jump on people when she's not supposed to jump on people. We're working things out. But if we're like outside and getting ready to go in the car and I say up, she does know to jump into the car. As far as like teething, all of that stuff, she's lost all of her baby teeth. All of her adult teeth have grown in. She doesn't chew on furniture or things like that. She has chewed up, you know, a fair amount of things in the house. We've had to replace a couple of things because she's chewed them up. But that's a puppy for you. I mean, it's hard to constantly watch them 24/7 when you're trying to do other stuff throughout your day. So she has chewed up a couple of things. Been good now about having toys that she'll chew on and chew the crap out of. I did have an old pair of Vans that she has destroyed. The Vans themselves were old anyway, and I was wearing holes in them anyway, and so I got a new pair, and I just figured I would give those pair to her to have her chew on those. And so this is one of the pair of shoes that she has chewed up. This is one of the pair of Vans, or one of the, I guess that's right, one of the pair of Vans that I gave to her to chew, and she's completely chewed the whole, like, just the whole shoe is like almost gone. So she gets a lot of use out of it. Another one of her favorite chew toys is this blue thing right here. Obviously she loves this thing. It's supposed to, I think, taste like bacon, but I got it at PetSmart. It was super cheap, and she loves it. That is like her go-to chew toy when she wants to just sit down and chew. That is the #1 thing that she'll chew on, and she's chewing on it right now. But yeah, she loves that chew toy. Her bedtime toy is this little mammoth. This came in a bark box. This was actually a bark box, came in a bark box that was for Lucy, but by the time we got it, Lucy had already lost her sight and hearing, and so she couldn't really play with it. And so we gave it to Yuna when we got Yuna, and she loves it. She's chewed the poor ear off of it, both ears off of this poor mammoth. But this is her bedtime toy. Whenever we would let her sleep in the bed with us, she would always take this toy and so we call it her bedtime toy. But she has lots of different toys. She has a whole basket of toys that we get from BarkBox that she loves and she plays with all the time. But she is quite the handful, but we love her, and she's very energetic. But I honestly speaking, when we lost Lucy, I was devastated. I was heartbroken. I really didn't want another dog, and bringing home Yuna, you know, it was like, oh, she's cute, but she's not Lucy, you know, and doing stuff like that, it's like, oh, that's cute, but she's not Lucy, you know. And I was just, for a while, I was kind of, I wouldn't say resentful, but I just, like, didn't want to deal with her. I didn't want to deal with a new puppy. I was still trying to get over, you know, losing Lucy. But after spending a lot of time with Yuna and training her and things like that, she's an incredibly sweet dog. She's so loving. She's very playful, and she is a good dog. I mean, she obviously is still a puppy. She has puppy moments. She's naughty every now and then, but that's a dog for you. That's a puppy for you. But I don't regret getting her. I don't regret having her, and honestly speaking, I would love another mini. I've fallen in love with the breed. I've had, I think, a Australian mix. My very first dog, when I was a kid, I got a dog for my 4th birthday, and her name was Daisy, and she was an Australian Shepherd mix. Her mother was an Aussie, but we don't know what her father was, and so I really loved her, and I loved Daisy, and I don't know, I really love the breed. I think they're incredibly smart dogs. They're very affectionate, and I would love to have another mini at some point in time. When me and Micah decide to get a house, and when me and Micah decide to move, if we have a backyard, we do plan on getting another dog at some point in time, because if Yuna spends a lot of her days outside in the backyard, I would feel bad for her to be out there all by herself. And so, you know, for her to have a little companion and have a little play buddy, I think that would be great for her. So I am not completely opposed to having another dog. It's just a lot of work. But I think in a house and in a backyard, I think it would be a little bit easier than trying to manage it in an apartment. But we'll see. We'll see. We're not quite there yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this puppy update. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this before in my past videos or not, but she does have an underbite, which is super adorable, super cute. I think I've mentioned it in vlogs before. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it in like a formal video, but she does have an underbite. It's not an issue, nothing like that, but it's freaking adorable, and she looks so goofy. I'll try to insert a picture of her with her little underbite, but it's just adorable. And whenever she looks up at you, you can just see like her teeth, her bottom teeth. so freaking cute. Aren't you so cute? You can see your little underbite. Yeah, you can see your little underbite. Look at that little underbite. I can't find it. There it is. Yeah. She's just an incredibly sweet dog. She is so loving, so kind, so sweet, and I'm very glad that we got her. As far as grooming goes, things like that, she is pretty easy to groom, although the past few times that she's been groomed, we've had her groomed by like PetSmart, and she stayed at Lucky's pet resort, and she was bathed and groomed there, because there's some things that I don't want to do because of her health. I don't want to hurt her, like clipping her toenails. Some of her toenails are black, not because of like any particular reason, it's just her markings on her toenails make her toenails black. And so it's very hard to see the quick in her toenails, because obviously like it's kind of like this. So it's like I have black nail polish on, you can't see my natural fingernail, and so that's kind of how her toenails are. Some of them are like normal fingernails, you can see where the quick is, and you can tell where to cut it, but some of them are black, and so you can't really tell where it is, and so I don't want to cut too far down and I don't want to hurt her, so I leave that up to professionals. But as far as other grooming, we just kind of bathe her like we normally do. We just fill up the bathtub a little bit with some water. Usually, it depends on if it's hot or cold outside. Right now it's cold, so we fill it up with lukewarm to a little bit warmer water, just because when she gets out, we don't want her to be cold or anything like that. We bathe her with like dog shampoo that we get from PetSmart, and that's pretty much it. Once she's out of the bath, we towel dry her, although we did just recently get a hair dryer for her, but we haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if she'll like it or not. But before the hair dryer, we would just towel dry her, and then she would get the zoomies and sprint around the house and all that stuff. And after she calmed down, we would the hardest part is brushing her, because she does not like it. She does not want to be brushed, especially behind the ears, although that is her main problem area, is behind her ears, because she has so much fur back there. We've actually had to cut a couple of mats behind her ears out, because her fur, she just has so much fur back there and it gets matted really easily, and so if you don't keep up with the brushing, it's very easy for them to mat. And so that's something that, you know, is hard to do, but we need to do for her. She hates it, but again, if we didn't brush her, she would get mats, and so it would either be dealing with her trying to cut out the mats or dealing with her trying to brush her fur. So it's, you know, one or the other, and I think going towards her head and towards her ears with a brush is a lot safer for both of us than going at her with a pair of scissors. So just keeping up with brushing is a lot easier. My gosh, she's so silly. What are you doing? You goof. She's so goofy. But yeah, so that's grooming. Again, really nothing too serious. Her favorite thing to do is play fetch. She loves to play fetch. She likes to catch it and then bring it back, but she doesn't want to give it up. She doesn't want to give up the ball, but she does love to go chase it and bring it back and whatever. But she's adorable. She's so cute. I love her to death. She's a handful. If you ever want a puppy, if you ever want a mini Aussie, just know that they are quite the handful. You need a lot of patience for them, but they will repay you, because they are loyal and they're loving and they're amazing dogs. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also go down below, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified of when I upload videos. I upload videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 12 p.m. all 3 days. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!